Pressed against the leather headboard, I couldn't do a thing but stare at what stood taking up the doorframe. The 6 feet and 4 inches of walking, breathing danger that I should fear with every fiber of my being. I'd been drunk last night, but I was sure that I'd witnessed the brutal aftermath of something he'd been responsible for. His presence alone should have had me running and screaming for my life, but I was doing neither. It was as if I'd been hit with a tranquilizer. Staring at him, I couldn't think. I could hardly breathe. "Good morning, Isla." His greeting sounded nothing like his voice from last night. It was velvet compared to gravel. He looked different, too. His wet hair was almost black, his long eyelashes spaced into perfect triangles too sweet and boyish to match that Spartan build. As he came closer, I could tell he was fresh out of the shower. He smelled good, and his t-shirt, struggling to stretch across his chest, was flecked with a million little droplets of water. I couldn't stop staring, but suddenly my eyes narrowed. I'd lost my driver's license weeks ago and no longer kept my credit cards in my wallet. I wouldn't have the cash to pay off the charges, and the last thing I needed was more debt. Knowing this, I peered up at him. "How do you know my name?" He was unapologetic. "I read it off the back of Elle's notes." Fire lit my eyes. It was sudden, uncontrollable, and while I tried to calm myself down, possibly for my own fucking safety, I couldn't. "You went through my things?" Fury shook my voice. I couldn't help it. There was nothing in my wallet but sentimental value. A dozen school portraits of Elle and the series of silly notes she'd written me before she died. "There was no reason for you to touch any of that," I seethed, embarrassed on my sister's behalf. Scribbled behind those photos were a million secret fantasies of the girl she would have been had she lived to see high school. "Medium tall and pretty like you," she wrote. "My hair would be as long as yours, and I'd have a pair of ripped jeans like the black ones you have, but mine would be blue, and I would wear them with my cherry Doc Martens. And I'd be badass, but not as bad as you used to be," smiley emoji, "so Mom doesn't go crazy."